You think you're broken, you're not broken, you're bent. And there's a massive difference between the two. A broken thing gets thrown away. A bent thing can be straightened. Stay with me because this is the most important thing that I'll say to you this year. Everything alive has a design, a way it's built to run. Take your body, give it what it's built for. Real food, real sun, movement, sleep. And it does things that still surpass doctors. It heals, it adapts, it performs. Now take the same body and load it with stress, garbage food, toxic relationships, no sleep, isolation. Everything falls apart. Here's the part I need you to catch. Nothing about the design changed. Only the direction did. The body didn't become a different machine. It's the same machine pointed the wrong way. I lived this one. At 32 years old, my testosterone was the level of a 70-year-old man. My body had been replaced. It hadn't been ruined. It had been bent, pointed in the wrong direction for years. And the day I started pointing it back, it responded. The design was in there the whole time waiting. Now, here's what men get wrong. I did it too. When you're struggling, you look around at the other men, you see how you're doing. You measure yourself against them and you tell yourself, I'm about the same as everybody else. I'm normal. There's that word again, normal. Here's the problem. The men you are measuring yourself against are bent too. You're standing in a forest of bent trees, telling yourself you must be straight because you look at like all the others. Average is not the freaking standard, gentlemen. The average man today is exhausted, distracted, medicated, and half checked out from his own life, his own marriage, his own family, his kids, whatever. All right. If that's your measuring stick, you'll feel fine while your life quietly falls apart. The standard was never other men. The standard is what you were built to be, what God created you to be. And almost nobody around you is living that standard. There's a harder truth underneath that. When you're in the middle of your own collapse, you cannot see it accurately. You just can't. The man in the middle of it always reports the symptoms, the marriage falling apart, the business that stalled, the weight, the drinking. He almost never reports the root because he hasn't admitted the root to himself yet. He doesn't even know. The wound stays buried, usually under shame. And a buried wound doesn't show up as a wound. It shows up as a man whose life looks fine on paper while it comes apart underneath. And listen, I've sat with more than 200 men in a week for years. And I'll tell you what happens in a room when it finally gets safe. One man says the thing he's never said out loud. Usually not until he's in his 40s or his 50s before he says it. And then head comes up in the room. Oh, me too. Me too. Truth was there the whole time. It just needed the collapse to end before it could be spoken, which is the whole reason I make these videos. You cannot get an honest picture of your collapse inside the collapse. The only man who can show you the truth is a man that's already crossed through it and came out the other side. Once he's across, it's easy to look back at who he used to be and name every bit of it without flinching because he isn't that man anymore. That's why you don't do this alone. You get around men who are already on the other side, and then they hand you the map you can't draw for yourself. So listen to me. You're not broken. The design is still in you. You were still created to be great. Underneath all that damage, you've just been bent and pointed the wrong way for a long time. The first stop is to step measuring yourself against a forest of bent trees and start measuring against what you are actually built for, the thing that you were created for. I put together a free series called Reclaim the Man Within to start exactly that. The link is in the description. It costs you nothing. What actually costs you something is, let me ask you this. What does your life look like in 12 months if everything stays the same or continues to get worse as it is? So when you're ready to do it with the men who have already crossed through, that's what the Agoge is. Starts with the free series below. You're not broken, you're bent. And bent can be made straight. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. The link's in the description. I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate that. Remember to like it. Remember to drop me a comment. I want to respond to it. I'm actually the one responding to the comments. And if you like this video, you're going to absolutely love this one right here.